Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts. Yukon's next premier will be named tomorrow when the Yukon Liberal Party chooses its new leader. It's been decades since the party had to hold a leadership vote. George Moratis introduces us to the two candidates.
Having a choice of leader is something the Yukon Liberal Party hasn't had in 20 years, dating back to 2005 when Arthur Mitchell defeated Pat Duncan. Former Premier Sandy Silver and current Premier Ranch Pillay were both acclaimed. That was the impetus for Mike Pemberton to put his hat in the ring this time around.
Then I was sort of blindsided a bit with Ranch's desire to step aside, and sort of said, like, okay, now what?
Pemberton is a longtime businessman in the Yukon. He's been involved with the federal and territorial Liberals for more than 20 years. He says he planned to run for the Liberals in the fall, but when Pillay announced he was stepping down, he stepped up.
I personally believe, and I've spoken to Doris about this, I personally believe that having another acclamation in the party would lose the party some integrity. I had a number of phone calls, and asking me to maybe step up now, right, and to have an actual leadership race.
Doris Bill is the other candidate vying for Liberal leadership. She was chief of the Kwanlin Dun First Nation for 9 years. Prior to that, she was a journalist at CBC. Bill was the first to announce her candidacy.
I'm not ready to retire. I've always been busy. I've been working my entire life since I was 14 years old.
Like Pemberton, Bill says giving members a choice was important.
It's motivated people, and I'm glad for that. It's great.
Both Bill and Pemberton cite community safety as a top priority. They also say they both intend to listen to Yukoners. Party members cast their vote Thursday night. Whoever wins will then be premier until at least the next general election, which must be held no later than November 3rd. George Moratis, CBC News, Whitehorse.
Northwest Territories residents pay the highest electricity rates in Canada. The Northwest Territories Power Corporation has applied to raise those rates, but it's unclear how high they could go. This week, the Public Utilities Board reviewed the application and found some costs weren't justified. Jocelyn Chappelle has the details.
The Northwest Territories Power Corporation won't be increasing management salaries. Instead, the Public Utilities Board wants the Power Corp to cut the $180,000 proposed for salary increases. That is one of the decisions made by the board on Monday as part of an ongoing general rate application for the Power Corporation. In it, the Power Corporation has outlined multiple costs it wants to account for in rates. One of NTPC's arguments for the salary increases is that they have been less than inflation in recent years. The Power Corporation also proposed a $300,000 increase for performance pay. The board turned that down as well. It stated that the NTPC has not shown enough evidence of how performance pay benefits the public. The decision includes various other application items for NTPC to go back and address. NTPC must now submit a revised application reflecting those changes. The board will then determine final rates until 2028. Jocelyn Chappelle, CBC News, Yellowknife.
In the Yukon, receiver PricewaterhouseCoopers wants to put the former Victoria Gold Eagle mine up for sale, and it wants to have that sale finalized by the end of the year. In a new report, the company says the move is based on 3 milestones. It says conditions on the site have improved drastically. Emergency work is expected to wrap up by September 30th. The receiver says the independent review board has completed its investigation, which will be made public at the end of the month. Finally, the receiver says hosting a sale is a requirement of a credit agreement, and it wants to close on a bid in December. Almost exactly a year ago, part of the mine failed catastrophically. Large amounts of cyanide and heavy metals seeped into the environment as a result. Residents of Sax Harbor NWT fear a well-known lake could soon become just a memory.
Angus Lake waterfall.
Sinkholes about 10 meters deep have formed at Angus Lake on Banks Island, and water from the lake is pouring into them, as you can see there. The lake is mainly used for spring goose hunting, and this year its banks are eroding as it drains. The local Hunters and Trappers Committee says the sinkholes have likely formed because of increased rainfall and warmer temperatures. It says it would be sad to see the lake dry up if these conditions continue. People in Yellowknife took their complaints about an eggy odor in the air to social media this morning. The sulfurous smell was detected across the capital. The city says the stench crops up every spring. It's caused by lakes overturning naturally as they warm up on the surface. The smell also appears at the Fiddler's Lake Lagoon, the city's sewage lagoon. A change in wind direction can also explain why the smell is so widespread. The city of Iqaluit is running out of dog tags. There's been a spike in demand for registration tags since the city changed a bylaw which now allows loose dogs to be killed within a shorter time frame. Unlicensed dogs can be killed at any time, so now more people are getting their pets licensed. In fact, more dog tags have been handed out in the past several weeks than in the past 2 years combined. 173 tags have been issued the past several weeks, while 151 tags were issued in all of 2024. A popular green space in Yellowknife could soon see new development. The city wants to rezone part of it for potential housing. As Nadir Hashmi reports, some residents aren't happy with the idea.
It's something to be grateful for and preserved, I feel, rather than destroyed.
Kim Harrower is a regular at Willow Flats. She says the wetlands and bird habitat brings the community together. She's told the city that she doesn't want this natural space to go away.
You can meet the young people riding their bikes because they're away from the road and they're safe here. It's a good, safe place to explore nature.
Harrower isn't alone. Many residents echo her concerns.
And it's actually a place that should be improved and not tore down.
David Gilday wants the area kept as is and thinks the city should look to other options. He's lived here with his family since the 80s.
There are no bushes. Back then we could stand here and look down the lake and it was very open. So all this growth has been since 1989.
Gilday has acted as an official caretaker of this green space for about 25 years. He says when he started, the area wasn't well kept.
Trucks would come in here, off-road vehicles. It was a mess. It was a dog crap area and it looked awful.
He says all that changed with just a little landscaping.
People respected it and kids started to migrate into it. Kids were coming in and they were building jumps on the site.
A retired biologist with the territorial government says developing the wetland could change the water flow and affect the natural habitat.
I think if you change half of it, then you change all of it.
Yellowknife Mayor says rezoning would undoubtedly affect the area, but not entirely.
That sort of hugs the trees and the bushes and the wetland. But again, it's up to people to decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Plans to develop parts of Willow Flats have been in the works for 2 years. Back then, Hendrickson says several councillors did express concerns.
At the time, there was some discussion and some debate specifically around this one piece that I know has caught the attention of many Yellowknifers.
The city is gathering public feedback from now until June 27th. The issue will then go back before City Council and a decision is expected in the fall. Nadir Hashmi, CBC News, Yellowknife.
Iqaluit's Planning and Development Committee has voted in favor of granting a downtown lot to a nonprofit organization. The Ukak Society plans to build a mixed-use 4-story building on the lot. The committee voted in favor on Tuesday. The Ukak Society says the plan is to create a commercial nonprofit space. It'll have 48 housing units, 16 of which will be affordable. The interim executive director of the society says the building will help address shortages in affordable housing.
It also allows families who are living with, say, their parents or, other family members to move out and get their own places. Young families are really looking forward to being able to offer that.
The Iqaluit City Council still needs to approve the plan at a future meeting. There's more criticism coming from Indigenous leaders towards Bill C-5. The controversial bill would speed up approval processes for major infrastructure projects across the country. Inuit Tapiriit Kanatami President Natan Obed told a Senate committee this week that the bill is another example of Canada patting itself on the back without actually consulting with Indigenous people. Obed wants the federal government to hear from Inuit organizations before moving the bill forward.
Inuit are concerned with the intersection between the rights of Inuit and this proposed legislation, including the risk that it creates the conditions for Inuit Crown treaties to be infringed. Not only does this not live up to Canada's obligation to respect rights, it creates the possibility of national interest projects ending up before the courts.
Leaders also told the committee they were only given a week to respond to the bill before it was tabled, which they say isn't enough consultation. This week saw multiple Indigenous groups protest the bill on Parliament Hill. The Government of Canada says it will still uphold its duty to consult with Indigenous people if the bill passes. The G7 summit in Kananaskis, Alberta is now over. The world leaders are gone and all the security measures in place aren't far behind. Acton Clarkin has more on how things are getting back to normal.
No-fly zone restrictions have been lifted. The secure controlled access zone perimeter surrounding Kananaskis village has been removed, and protesters have left the 4 official protest zones in Calgary and Banff. RCMP Chief Superintendent David Hall says there were no summit-related arrests or tickets.
Like, honestly, I'll say I think I'm surprised that we didn't see more demonstration activity. But again, I think that really comes down to the strength of our plans and the strength of our sort of public interaction.
Calgary Police Superintendent Joe Brar chalks part of the limited protest activity up to technology advances.
There's other ways of demonstrating now as well rather than just showing up in person. Technology allows people from all parts of the world to reach in and express their views and opinions. And so I think it's just changing the environment.
Not everything is back to normal just yet. For security reasons, some trails and sections of road in K Country will still be closed for several days or even weeks. As for summit security costs, officials gave no timeline, but say those numbers will be released after a final tally. Acton Clarkin, CBC News, Calgary.
We're always doing something that's connected to music, and it always finds a way to bring us closer as a family, closer physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally.
I realize how important it is to have the representation of it, to have Indigenous folk on stage, singing their songs, doing their thing.
What I can say is that I feel connected, which is cool.
Don't miss Resonate, Songs of Resilience.
This astonishing world, with its infinite possibilities, calls to the world shapers, impact makers, visioneers. Together, let's unlock potential everywhere.
Welcome to your new home.
Mais il est trop chaud. He understands French. I'm not seeing this as a suicide.
Someone sure wanted us to think it was.
Gallagher is suspect number 1.
Tell me, was it the man's politics you didn't like, or the fact that he's living with your wife?
I know he's into something. I just gotta prove it.
No, we all have a past. Find his.
Be careful around Fitz. Donnie's got a lot of demons that tend to appear when no one expects it.
I brought a few friends along with me today.
3, 2, 1.
Mom, you're embarrassing me in front of the dragons. Take me home, James.
Full of surprises here on The Den. Dragon's Den. Watch free on CBC Gem.
12 of Britain's best amateur bakers have made it to the tent.
This is an absolute dream.
Every inch of their baking skill will be scrutinised.
Lovely jubbly.
Those that falter will leave the tent.
One wrong move and it's over.
You want a game? Bring it on.
Go, go, go!
Oh my God! We need help out there.
They're welcome for you.
This is it! Canada's ultimate challenge.
Speed limits in the city of Whitehorse could soon go down to 40 kilometers per hour. The default is currently 50 kilometers per hour within city limits. City and council say the changes will improve safety. Callie McTavish has that story.
City councillors say the bylaw aims to protect vulnerable road users such as cyclists and walkers. Councillor Paolo Galina says the city looked at studies that show consequences are significantly less severe at reduced speeds.
Multiple reports show that when a vehicle is traveling 50 kilometers an hour at the risk of a pedestrian being struck by a vehicle and suffering a serious injury or death is over 80%. At 40 kilometers an hour, that risk drops significantly. The data is clear that slower speeds gives drivers more time to react and reduce the harm caused by vehicle collisions when they do happen.
In 2021, a bylaw reduced speed limits downtown. Council says that's proven successful.
I was skeptical that it would take, that people would buy in, that it would be enforced. But I'm pleased that residents of Whitehorse have self-regulated to an extent, and it's become normal and accepted to travel at that speed.
City administration says they've collected data on driver speeds downtown, and most are obeying the posted speed limits. In Riverdale, residents say they think the change will be a good thing.
I think it's a really good idea. I mean, it's work downtown. It never feels like it's too slow for me. There's so much happening, and in our neighborhood we've got multiple schools, we've got tons of kids going to and from all kinds of places, and just, you know, lots of families and lots of activities. And I think we don't travel very far overall in Whitehorse. A couple extra seconds is not going to make a big impact on our day.
It's probably just safer for everybody walking around, to be honest, and it seems to have done okay downtown.
I feel like generally people are roughly going 40 anyways. Riverdale is so short that whether it's 50 or 40, it doesn't make a big difference in time when you want to go somewhere.
That 10 kilometers an hour is not going to matter at all. It's like when they changed it downtown, everybody was in an uproar, and now nobody cares. The key part of it is enforcement. Are they going to enforce as better than they're doing now?
The city will let residents know about the change through roadside signage, the website, and social media. It will only officially come into effect once the 40 kilometer per hour signs go up. City administration says they will work with RCMP on education and enforcement plans. The speed reduction will apply to streets all across the city. It will have to pass a third reading before the new bylaw can be adopted. That'll happen in the coming weeks. Callie McTavish, CBC News, Whitehorse.
Duct tape, cell phones, and ingenuity. That is what saved the most recent survey of the Beverly caribou herd in Nunavut. The results were published in May and showed encouraging signs of a growing herd, but the count almost didn't happen. The team's photography plane had mechanical issues. The team says there were two choices: regroup and try again the following year, or come up with a solution that would work when the caribou were calving. So they taped their cell phones to the plane windows and pressed record.
We didn't know that it would work, but we figured we were there and we would try. And it's remarkable how good a quality imagery these phones produce these days.
After a few days of flying over the herd, they analyzed the footage, and it was clear enough for an accurate count. The count showed an increase of 152,000 animals from just over 100,000 in 2018. The herd had previously been in decline since the mid-1990s. For the second year in a row, the Edmonton Oilers came up just short of winning the Stanley Cup. Fans anxiously watched their team go goalless until late in the third period, but a win just wasn't in the cards. Julia Wong was at the game and wraps things up from Florida.
It was a devastating night for Edmonton Oilers fans in Florida after the team lost again to the Panthers in the Stanley Cup final. The Panthers started out strong with 2 goals in the first period, and they kept the pressure up, going on to a 5-1 win over the Oilers. The loss, difficult for fans here to swallow. Many had been confident the Oilers could force a Game 7 and avenge last year's loss. They say the back-to-back losses to the same team is disappointing, to say the least.
It is absolutely tough. It's like watching somebody shoot your dog and you can't do anything about it. It's awful. It's the worst feeling ever.
This is hard, not gonna lie. But we love
hockey, we love the Oilers, we are Alberta, and we're proud of who we are. And we came down here for that purpose.
Damn.
It's heartbreaking.
Well, yeah, because you don't get to the finals it's very hard to do, right? To be able to come this far 2 years in a row.
As for the Oilers, the players say it's painful and not what they came here to do. They say they win as a team and lose as a team.
I lost to a really good team. Nobody quit, nobody threw the towel in. They're a heck of a team. The Stanley Cup champions back-to-back for a reason.
It's a team thing. It's a team sport. That's what this is. Like if you don't have everybody firing on all cylinders, it's hard to win a Stanley Cup.
There was a lot of hope this would be the year a Canadian team would win the Stanley Cup. The last time that happened was 1993. The Oilers' loss now extends Canada's Stanley Cup drought another year. Julia Wong, CBC News, Sunrise, Florida.
First Nations youth from across the Yukon are at the Kwanlin Cultural Centre in Whitehorse this week. They're gathering for a youth summit hosted by Denene Ventures.
My biggest takeaway is the network I get to build here, being around other First Nations youth that I wouldn't have had the chance to meet unless it was for summits like this. These are people I'm going to be working with for my entire life, and it really takes summits like this to bring together youth to build confidence, bring the youth together, and also connect us with experts in the financial field or people who work on trust, so we have a safe space to ask questions and feel confident to pursue our own endeavors.
The summit is open to Yukon First Nations and Yukon Indigenous residents between 18 and 29. It features workshops, talk sessions, and youth-led panels on personal finance, investment, and business basics. This year's summit has about 80 participants. That is almost triple from last year. A new program in Iqaluit is teaching Inuit the skills they need to run live events. Participants are learning skills like sound and lighting. They're preparing to help run the city's Alionite Arts Festival.
I have a big bruise here because we're lifting heavy stuff and equipment and whatnot, and I didn't realize how much work and effort the tech crew gives theirself to create such an amazing event.
The festival typically uses a crew from down south. This program involves Inuit instructors from Greenland. The program's lighting instructor says instruction can be clearer when Inuit teach Inuit.
They've been very fun. They've been very interested, and now they're like putting all the lights up, and so it's a lot of fun. There's so much community here.
Participants are from across the territory. Instructors hope they can take the skills they learn and help run events in their own communities. The 2025 Alionite Arts Festival begins tomorrow. A video of a group of young Indigenous drummers from the Squamish Nation in BC has gone viral. It shows the boys performing a song near a mountainside bear enclosure, drawing in a couple of grizzlies, exactly as they planned. The CBC's Amelia John has that story.
It's an incredible moment caught on camera. The proud little warriors performing outside the grizzly bear habitat on Grouse Mountain in North Vancouver.
I felt so blessed when they came really close to us, and then my first time seeing a grizzly bear. It felt so awesome and so exciting to sing to the bears.
For the past 6 months, these 10 and 11-year-old musicians have been practicing here at the Chief Joe Mathias Rec Center within their traditional territory of the Squamish Nation.
It's all about kind of like connecting to our culture and like singing and honoring the animals that we're singing for.
Over the weekend, video of the boys went viral after they came across Kula and Grinder. They couldn't see the bears at first. That's when they sang their grizzly song and coaxed them out.
And I thought it was kind of supernatural. I really like looking into supernatural stuff because if you keep looking, it always looks like it always shows up.
Their video has more than 1 million views and counting.
I shed a tear when they were singing up at Grouse Mountain, just because, how proud I am to see how far they've come.
They're now getting messages from people halfway around the world.
I'm happy, to get our language and our culture out there, let people know that we're still here, that we're still speaking our language, and, we know our culture and our songs, and that the Squamish Nation people are still here.
The Proud Little Warriors have several more performances coming up and plan to keep singing to honor their language and culture. Amelia John, CBC News, West Vancouver.
And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. Thank you for watching. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a good night.
We're always doing something that's connected to music, and it always finds a way to bring us closer as a family, closer physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally.
Don't miss Resonate, Songs of Resilience.